Hi everyone, welcome back to Reborn Higa. Where is... Hang on a second. Sorry, I was reaching over for something and this fell over, but we'll chalk it up to technical difficulties, won't we? Hang on just a second. See, I have the camera at an angle that I can't see your comments, so give me a minute here. I decided to name this live after a question that I get a lot, and actually not just a question that I get a lot, but like almost verbatim for the question that I just got. So we're going to wait for people to stream in so that we can get started. It won't make you wait too long. We're just gonna hang out. It's Sunday. I don't always go on Sundays because I'm doing all like my week prep for everything I have to do for the week that's work related and kid related. But I have a little bit of downtime and I'm in the mood to I got the AC blasting in here. Let me cover up a little bit. And I'm in the mood to talk about one of the most frequently asked questions as of late. It's kind of along the line like, where did you get this, baby? And the reason I specifically mentioned this question, what did I title this? What is the name of the website where you buy these dolls? I forgot to put the question mark, but whatever. You guys know that was a question. So this right here is, let me zoom in a little bit, and actually I'm gonna scoot him over. And thank you everyone. I had so much fun at my live stream the other night, or that was last night, Friday night. What day is today's Sunday? Yeah, Friday night. It was really cool. I had fun. Like I posted days ago on my community wall, I think I'm able to make Friday night a regular thing with lives. I'm having a lot of issues with my my phone, so with storage issues, and I think it has to do with my phone, but that's something else. Oops. Hang on. Okay. So, hi Ashley, hi my little world, hi Mary Beth, hi Muddy Beth. And some people's kids are going back to school tomorrow. So yeah, school's like in full session. So I'm just gonna get something to drink here. So yeah, this is like such a specific question. And it gets asked a lot. I hope the camera doesn't fall over again. And it gets asked a lot. And honestly, if you want to buy a blank kit, you should see, this is the thing. Like, I know a lot of you guys are regulars here. You've been here for a while. You already know, how to obtain these kits. You probably you already know the general way that these kits are created, that they come in a blank form and an artist paints them. And I'm looking around for my blanks. I think I put them all away in the closet today. So this is a kit. It's called Grayson. It was originally sculpted in clay by Bonnie Brown. Bonnie Brown then sends the mold to manufacturers of a company in China, and they mass produce what we call blank kits. These blank kits then get distributed to different dealers. The dealers like McPherson's, like Reborn, City of Angels, Dolls by Sandy, and there's many, many more throughout the world where these kits get sent to. And these dealers then sell them to people that plan on painting them themselves, or people that plan on having them painted for them. I don't know what the, if there's more artists buying kits than there are collectors, or if I'm one of those collectors that will buy a blank kit on my own. And so I'm one of those people that buys blank kits, and I will, if I want them done, I'll have somebody paint them for me. And then there's people out there that have, artists paint them. So if you're asking what website you can buy a fully painted and rooted doll, this hair right here, it's mohair, and it's been individually plugged into with a needle into the vinyl head. And I know, you guys, for those of you guys who've been here for a long time, this is probably very, rudimentary, okay? I understand. But so this mohair has been plugged into the head, and before they plugged his hair in, somebody took either acrylic paints or heat paints or whatever, or not heat paints, what are those other ones, like the air dry paints, and they painted the doll down to every little detail, every vein, every scratch, every toenail, everything. It's painted. So hi Warrior, welcome. So we're going to talk, because we're getting to a point here, we're going to talk about some other things going on too. So I did not buy this doll from a website. So this doll was, in fact, this doll was originally purchased either directly from Bonnie Brown, who was the sculptor, when she sells some of her kits on her own, or from a dealer like McPherson's, like Reborn, like City of Angels, like Dolls by Sandy, like many other dealer sites that exist out there. So this doll was bought as a kit form at one point, and then it eventually made its way to me, because I wasn't the original one who bought this doll when it was a kit form. I actually had to hunt down this specific doll because it's a sold out limited edition kit, and it's no longer in production. So I had to hunt it down, but eventually it made its way to me, and then I commissioned an artist to paint this doll to my specifications. So and there wasn't a website. I found the artist on Facebook, and there are many, many artists on Facebook with many, many different skill levels of painting realism into a kit. So that's in short. So that's the short answer to what. There is no website where you can buy a doll. I no longer want to promote any more websites here. There was one, and it's reborns.com, and that would be the only one I would suggest that people go look, only specifically reborns.com, and I would recommend that nobody stray away from that at all. In my opinion, well, not just my opinion, for myself, I wouldn't buy from places like Amazon. I wouldn't buy from places like Mercari. I would not buy from places like AliExpress, because of the fact that you are increasing your likelihood of buying a fake, knockoff, counterfeit, whatever you want to call it, doll. that is a copy of a legitimate, authentic sculpt that an artist sculpted, and you're just going to increase the chances of you buying a counterfeit, fake doll on those sites. So I would totally recommend you totally avoid those. On skill levels and budgets for every collector out there. Yes, thank you so much, my little world. That's very true. Hello, Alexia Lynn. Hello, lovely lady. So yeah, let me see. So where was I going with that thought? So when people ask me that, it's not it. Everyone can tell you and steer you in any way that they want. This is a channel that strictly buys Reborn dolls that are made by that are authentic. So I don't have any knockoff dolls, any fake dolls, or any dolls that have been copied by sculpts of artists, of artists that have mass produced them with COAs and all that. So I don't buy from any of those sites because I don't want to increase the odds of the chances of me ending up with a fake. So just avoid that altogether. I'm always going to speak out against knockoffs, fakes, because that's I can't, not for, I know it's not the popular opinion. Not on YouTube, it's not. Because when I do searches on YouTube, I find lots of channels promoting or happily buying, and they can happily buy, fakes, like silicones that are sculpted or casted under, they're pretty much recasted from authentic sculptors' work. One of the fake silicones out there that comes to the top of my head, because it was one that I immediately found out about when I first entered the community, and they're called Evita. That's IVITA. Those are definitely, if you're buying anything with the name Evita in it, you're going to get a knockoff or a fake. So that's why I avoid places like Amazon or eBay. I used to buy on eBay. I did win a couple auctions. I've bought a few dolls on eBay, but that was back then when I first started in the community years ago. So it seemed to be, as far as like you're feeling protected, your money was protected, for the exchange of merchandise that you're getting. It seemed to be like a safe way to go. But more and more we're seeing that eBay has become pretty much catered to and just filled with, I don't know what the ratio, I think the ratio is going to be, there's more fakes on eBay than there are authentic dolls. So there's just more fakes on eBay than there are authentic. So at some point, in my opinion, the way I'm assessing it, that's what it seems like. So at some point, I just absolutely don't even really look there. Now, a lot of prototype artists, they still auction their dolls on eBay. But yeah, so, and my little world says, and I don't see anything wrong with saying so, just putting it out there. Little Mortician said, I found that I can only resell dolls on eBay. Listing on Facebook or YouTube has yielded me no sales so far. And Little Mortician, are you selling as a collector, or are you selling as an artist? Are these dolls that you're selling that you've created, that you've painted? Because that's the sad part about it. Fortunately for me, I've been able to use my platform here on YouTube, my social media on Instagram. People pretty much know who I am. So I have been able to, I haven't sold a doll in a long time, because I'm really content with the collection that I have right now. But Little Mortician says she's a collector. Okay, so I'm going to get to my point right here. So as a collector who sells my dolls secondhand, I totally understand where you're coming from. I totally get it, because before I had my channel and I wanted to sell a doll, it was hard. It would get flooded in the Facebook groups of the secondhand market. I knew less about the Reborn hobby when I first started. This is before I had a channel. I knew a lot less, and um, it was Hard Knocks University. Seriously, it's kind of Hard Knocks University. You learn the hard way. And I feel like I might have overpaid for a few of the Reborns that I first initially got. Some of them I overpaid for them. So, so yeah, I totally feel you in it. And it feels like it's the only place you can sell. Um, so I can totally relate to that. But I feel lucky I do have a platform here where hundreds of people will see if I have something for sale. A lot of people follow my channel and they'll message me privately when they're interested in a doll, even if it's not for sale. And they'll show interest and say, hey, can I have first reserve, or could you put me on the list for that doll? Because I have, I don't even think I have the original doll I've ever, yeah, I don't even have that. So dolls go up for sale. So I totally understand as a collector, from a collector's point of view, um, why you would use that, and why me going, in the opposite direction and saying that I just don't recommend eBay. I'm still going to stick to that. I still just don't recommend eBay. And there's several reasons why I don't. One, because they've been in partnership comfortably with um, hundreds and hundreds of counterfeiters. I feel like it's probably not even a viable place anymore, even for secondhand collectors. And so you're probably wondering, well, where can I sell? I don't know anything about reborns.com. I believe they charge a fee, but I still think that is probably the safer place. I do see a lot of artists that are selling on reborns.com. I do see a lot of collectors that sell their dolls secondhand on reborns.com. Will they have to sell it at a loss? I think most of us do it anyway. If it's equivalent, if whatever reborns.com charges you for membership in order for you to be able to sell your dolls on there, I think it's worth it, because you're still already paying like 13% to sell it at on eBay. So if anybody out there knows that right now, knows the statistics, I might have to look that up for a later video. But if anybody out there knows the cost, is it equivalent to selling your doll on eBay? Hey, I've never bought a doll from reborns.com, because I have my favorite artists that I buy dolls from, but so I don't really have that much use for reborns.com. But I still think it's a better way to go as a collector, because of the fact that you're less likely going to get scammed than you would on eBay. I hope that makes sense. I'm trying to not throw away like all my principles because I want people to like me here, or to be likable. Likable is second to my principles and having integrity. So that comes second to me. So sometimes people are going to hear something out of, on this channel that they're not going to agree with, or it's going to rub them the wrong way. And I have my way of doing things, and I have my way of looking at things. And I just think, as a whole, if we're doing things for the better of the community and not just for us individually, I think it protects our community a lot better. My Little World says, it's sad fakes messed up eBay selling platform for honest artists and collectors. Yes, it did. I don't feel like eBay is doing right by our hobby. So I don't see why we should be sharing profits with eBay. My Little World says, fakes ruin the honest platforms for so many of us out there. Yep. My Little World says, I would like to know if reborns.com is monitoring all listings. They have created quite successful platform to sell authentic dolls. I don't know. It looks pretty safe. I don't really hear. I did hear of one time, and this is a couple months ago, that something snuck in there. Something that might not have been real. But for the most part, I think they're on top of that. I think whoever's running that site is on top of, they're on top of it. They're not letting things slide. So if you're already going to pay royalties to eBay for the sale of your doll, then I think it's better to do it within something that's created for the Reborn community, you know, and for the protection of collectors and artists alike. I just think it's a better way. I'm always going to be vocal about it. It's, you know, some people might feel like they're getting shunned or they're being shamed. I understand that. I feel the same way. I feel like, in fact, there's like two of us right now that I feel like are really been hitting, our channels have been hitting the whole topic of fakes. And, you know, as we continue talking about it, we're the ones getting shamed for not being okay and not, you know, sitting quietly while fakes take over the YouTube platform. YouTube is very highly visible and probably very much, you know, responsible for the counterfeit, you know, for how prolific the counterfeit cells have become, how much they've penetrated and saturated the this Reborn hobby. I mean, one of the first things I did when I found Reborns was look to see what, if anybody had box openings or dolls that they were featuring on their channels. And if I was new right now and I was to put Reborn anything, a lot of fakes would come up, because I actually did that today. I Googled. I didn't Google fakes because what would I know as a new person about fakes? I just decided to Google, do a search, not Google, do a search here on YouTube, and a lot of channels with counterfeits were coming up. A lot of videos with counterfeits were coming up. There were a few with legitimate dolls, but I saw more with counterfeits than I did with authentic Reborn dolls. Okay, so Little Mortician, thank you. I totally understand that too. Most people that collect a Vita and other knockoffs say that they do so because they can't afford a silicone doll, which I understand, but it's problematic. It's stealing. So thank you so much, Little Mortician, for sharing that. I agree with you. That's why it's always going to be on my channel where I'm going to be like, I'm always going to be not okay with those. I'm not going to trade in my principles so that I could to coddle anyone or to make people feel okay, or I can't do it. It's not in my fabric. It's not who I am, okay? I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to trade in my principles for that. And you guys can keep on collecting what you want, but don't call it a Reborn, because it's not. You can call it the fake Reborn community. I don't know. Just don't. And you guys will probably be really successful because a lot of people are okay with fakes. You'll be welcomed with arms wide open. There's a lot of people out there that want fakes and they want to know where to buy these fakes because they only want to spend, you know, $200 on a full body silicone, or however, I don't know how much those Evitas cost, but you know, so I'm not going to ever apologize for it. This is the way I see it. And I've said this a lot of times on my channel. You can't convince me that the sale of counterfeits is okay. It's just not happening. I mean, no one's been able to sway me. While, you know, I see that the manufacturers and the people that are, you know, creating these the fake kits, while I see that they're the actual problem, they're the root of the problem, Or are they? Because they won't exist. It's like, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Okay, so would they exist if there wasn't interest in buying something cheaper and fake? Okay, so for me, the actual, it's a partnership. It's 50-50 responsibility. We can blame the manufacturers that are doing the copying and producing these fake kits, but the buck stops, the money stops at the consumer. If something is out there, I go to downtown LA. We go down to the garment district, and it's like I don't know if any of you guys live around here or in Southern California, but I go to downtown LA, and usually, like when my daughters, they have proms or dances, we go and we go down and we go to the garment district and we buy a lot of, like, that's where we get those dresses for prom. And down every alleyway, you have people selling like fake James Charles, fake Jeffree Star, fake makeup, right? And we're looking at it and it looks like the real deal. But that's not the real deal. Do I buy it? Do I buy it? Because, I know it's going to be cheap quality. I know it's going to be. Just because it looks like it and it offers the same colors, it doesn't mean what you're putting on your eyelid, that eyeshadow or that lipstick, is actually going to be the real deal. They're knockoffs. So as a consumer, I make that conscious decision to say no. That's my decision. And yes, it is your prerogative if you are the one who makes the decision to buy that fake. It is your prerogative. And my prerogative is to be outspoken about it and to place the responsibility on, naturally, the no-brainer. You place the responsibility on the manufacturers, but where does the buck stop? Where is the last place where that decision is made? If there's no one buying it, then there's nobody to make anything for. That is simple supply and demand. We owe sculptors that respect. Thank you, Katie. I agree. My Little World says, exactly. We need to look at the bigger picture here. I see people getting all angry hearing about fakes, but they enjoy their Reborn sculpts. There would be none without sculptors. I agree. There wouldn't be any Reborn sculpts without the sculptors. And we owe them that respect. My Little World says, we are once again kicked here. I don't care. I will not be bullied into submission. Yeah, and there's like, the two most vocal people on here are probably me and Katie, where we take it a step further, where we are trying to, well, for me, I'm going to speak for myself. I'm taking it a step further, because I honestly don't look at it as just, well, I'm still going to support people who buy fakes and I'm still going to support them because they're my friend. Well, honestly, for me, that's where the buck stops. For me, I can't. And honestly, I don't really know a lot of the people that are buying fakes. I've seen the channels, like I've watched them, but I don't recognize them as people that I know or talk to in the community. So I don't really know them. So it's not personal. And that's what I think people need to understand, that it is not personal. Now, when they do videos and it's coming in the other direction, like they're firing at us for being, for not tolerating fakes, not specifically their fake, but just fakes in general, that's personal. So while I see these fakes going around in these videos of people that I don't really know them, it's not personal. I don't hate you. I just don't like the fake. Little Mortician says, most people that collected Vita and other knockoffs. Oh, I already read that. Oh, plus okay, My Little World says, did I read that already? Hold on. Okay, plus they twist the narrative once again. This is not about unknowing. This is not about unknowing new collectors. This is about old timers who knowingly present fakes. Well, that's true too. I've seen people that have been around for a while, long enough to know that there are fakes out there, but that's what they want to spend their money on. Well, it's still not okay with me, but what's not okay is not you as a person or the fact that you exist. It's just the doll. And the harm that it causes the reborn doll community, the harm that it's yeah, that's the problem. Little Mortician says silicone dolls are expensive, but rightfully so because a lot of the work that goes into them, sculpting, molding, pouring, painting, etc. There are, yeah, these sculptors, Bonnie Brown, Ping Lao, these dolls wouldn't even be able to come out. They have overhead expenses. They're not just in their garage. I sculpted this, and now I made one. Although Bonnie did kid with us a lot like that. Like she was sculpting a few dolls and she would tease everybody, like show a face or show a hand, and she's like, but I think I'm just gonna keep this one for me. And everybody would be like, oh, she teased us a lot about it. But can I blame her? I mean, I can't even begin to put myself in her shoes, how she feels about her work. Well, I know how she feels because she vocalizes it and she lets everybody know in her group. And so does Ping Lao. Ping Lao has an entire group that's hyper focused. In fact, I was reading something that Ping Lao posted on her in her scammers group, Spot the Fakes. She has a Facebook scammers group, so you guys can check out right there. I'm not even nearly as harsh as the artists or the sculptors or the collectors that have been here longer than me. I'm not even nearly as harsh as these people are on Facebook. Um, but before I started this live stream, I was reading some stuff by Ping Lao and her group, and you know, she's angry, and it's hurtful, and even more so when she tries to appeal to the people, because where does the buck stop? It stops with us. So I can't even blame her. And yes, I agree. There's silicone dolls are expensive. The material is expensive itself. How do you how does an artist, that's another thing. You guys, Bonnie Brown's not a millionaire, okay? She's not doing this for charity. This is her bread and butter. This is her livelihood. Ping Lao is not a millionaire. This is her bread and butter. She is surviving as an artist. She is surviving as an artist. And these Chinese companies, these Avitas, these other, I don't even know their names, so many weird names out there. These companies that come out and they are here and swooping in, and they're stealing an artist's work, mass producing it, profiting off of it, and sharing that profit with eBay, sharing that profit with PayPal. So it's wrong. And for me, yes, the obvious is that these companies are wrong for doing so in the first place. But who shares in that 50-50 responsibility? It's the collectors or the people who are buying them. They share 50% of the responsibility for knockoffs thriving, being able to continue their businesses. Hi, Jules Loves Dolls. It's good to see you. I think it depends on the person's budget. I see a lot of collectors buy fakes. Personally, I'd rather spend more on the real thing. That goes for designer purses. I'm in my 40s. I won't buy a fake. Me neither. That goes for makeup. I mean, my daughters are like total makeup snobs. So I'm not like a huge on makeup, but I remember my Sephora days. I didn't buy those knockoff Jeffree Star and, anything knockoff. What I'm going to put on my eyelids or on my lips and stuff, I want the money to go to the creative person behind all of that. And I was going to change him, but I'm not looking at him. I feel like my camera is up too close, but let me shake you guys about a little bit here. So sorry. I feel like this was up. I mean, not up. I feel like it was too close. There, don't fall. There we go. And you're probably wondering, why do I spend so much time talking about this? Because I really like this hobby. You know, I like this hobby for the art of it, for the fact that it's a hobby. It's supposed to be something fun. And I don't like thievery. I don't like the knockoffs. I don't like any of that. And when somebody's going to ask me, well, who do I feel worse for? The person who buys a knockoff because they say they can't afford. There are too many ways to buy something authentic and legitimate that won't cost you an arm and a leg, that isn't like way expensive, and just with a little bit of time you're able to save for it. There are so many ways to not buy a fake that I don't understand why anybody would. Maybe they think they're cute. Even that, like, I don't think they're cute, but I guess that's really not the point, like whether they look cute or not. Because somebody had brought up in my live stream, can we talk about how ugly, knockoffs are? Yes, some of them are horrendous. Some of them are passable as legit. But yeah. My Little World says, let's support new upcoming artists instead of buying fakes. And she agrees with Jules. Everyone who supports fakes is mouthy. You mean mouthy, like they're mouthy? So everyone who supports fakes is mouthy until it's them who lose money. Imagine if it was their work stolen. Yeah. And Jules Loves Dolls says, it's really unfortunate. The platforms should do more to not allow knockoffs to be sold. It's counterfeit, plain and simple. Amazon, eBay, Etsy, etc. Yeah, I forgot about Etsy. Lots of fakes on Etsy too. That was actually one of the ones that I saw recently. Ping Lao posted in her group, the Etsy knockoffs of that very cute. I don't know what her name is, but she's got like a lot of teeth. She's super cute. She's like a bigger toddler doll, but she just came out a few months ago and she's got a lot of teeth. She's really cute though. I don't know her name. They're selling hers. They really love to do the Ping Lao dolls. Those are the ones they're really after. Fake perfumes are well known to use cat urine and some chemicals so fake cosmetics are not safe at all. Avita artist made silicone dolls don't even compare. If we're being honest, we have every right to be exclusive about silicone dolls. Yeah, the silicone dolls too. So let me I was gonna change them, but I didn't. Hold on a second. Okay, I think I'm gonna change Stellan. I feel like putting this on him. It's gonna be warm, but not too warm. And this is sleeveless, so I think I'm gonna shift over Killian and bring on. Oh, let me put him over here. Oh, where can I put him? Where can I put him? I'm using. Oh, let me just. Okay, there's Stellan. My Little World says, I also want to stress this discussion has nothing. I don't care if you paid only $100 for your Reborn. That's what you paid. It doesn't matter how much you pay for it. That has nothing to do with it. Because I don't know. I don't know how many times we can emphasize the fact that there are so many affordable Reborns out there. Girl, I see so many on reborns.com. I'm not even like really shopping there. I just go to see what's available. And I see a lot of legitimate artists, whether they're new or not, I don't know. But I see a lot of legitimate artists selling their dolls there. So price is not the issue. You can love any doll at any price. It's up to you. Where I draw the line is at fakes. That's where I draw the line. That's where I draw the line. My Little World says, I agree with Little Mortician. Since when people doing the right thing and buying authentic kits should be apologizing for voicing their opinion and standing up for the right thing? I think that sorry. I think that, yeah, I mean, we're going to be vocal about it. It's not going to be any different than, Ping Lao talking about it in a Facebook group. There is a lot less tolerance for knockoffs and fakes and stuff in a Facebook group. In fact, I believe it's Ping Lao's group, or it might not be. It might be another scammer group I belong to. One of the first things you see when you enter or you join the group, one of the very first things you'll see is the introduction to the group, and it shows you exactly the fakes, what they look like. It shows you which ones they're talking about. So they're not making it vague at all. And that's how I learned about like Evita, and it's just worse. Evita, I keep bringing up Evita only because it's one of the ones that's always like the most popular one that I know about, because it was one of the first ones I heard about. Hang on one second. Okay, sorry about that. Most doll groups on Facebook don't allow Evita dolls to be posted. No, they don't. Or any of the knockoffs and stuff. So they don't. There are groups on Facebook that are made for fakes, for knockoff dolls, and those people vehemently defend knockoffs. They defend painting them, buying them, selling them. They welcome collectors who enjoy knockoffs. So you have your place. But you're not going to be. It's not a place I would join. I was in one of those groups by accident. They invited me to the group, and I think a lot of people accidentally, because all they did in the title, they put, Reborn dolls, whatever. I forgot what it was. It was like sometime last year. And so many people were in that group, and then it turned out, there started, like, some collectors started posting their fakes on there. And then somebody would comment under the fake, hey, that's a counterfeit doll, and then one of the admins, or this really like anonymous person on there, really didn't have anything on their Facebook page, would swoop in and, well, some people can't afford an authentic kit. I'm starting to think if those might be the Chinese, those might be the people who actually steal the copies and get them mass produced, because they would swoop in right away and like defend the knockoffs. And it took like a couple hours, but I think Katie, you were in there too, and we started realizing, you know what, this is a knockoff group, and everybody was laughing because our artist friends and other people that were going, like they were getting, reeled into this disagreement about the knockoff, and it was a farce. Like the entire the entire page, that entire group was aimed at, it was for people who wanted to share their knockoffs. So definitely was not a place I wanted to be, so I left. And a lot of people did. A lot of people left that group. And I think the people that are still sitting there all comfortable are the people who collect knockoffs. So that's okay. There's a place for you. There's a place for them. Hi, Tracy. Okay, so I thought I had a different diaper on him, and I'm not sure I like. Where's my ones with Velcro? I'm gonna grab something with Velcro here. I always feel like when I'm not looking for a specific diaper, I find it. I found it. I found it. Okay. I think I want to I like the terry cloth one. Even though it has the buttons. I prefer like the Velcro, but the buttons will do. Joanna says, I stand by sculptors, their time and hard work. Thank you, Joanna. Thanks for showing your support. I don't think that I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think personally, I mean, there was that that one victory, that one battle that was won by Bountiful Baby, but I don't think that we are going to ever see counterfeits go away. They're just getting stronger and more popular, so I don't think it's ever going to, they're never going to go away. They're always going to be available. So whatever you think, whatever your opinion is about it, I'm a realist. I do know they're never going away. I want to change. Yeah, so I don't think they're ever going to go away. I think they're always going to be available. They're going to thrive because they can, whatever it is that they're doing. I know we don't have any, I personally don't have any hard proof of the toxicity of a knockoff. I discussed this a little bit in my last live. I don't have any proof of the toxicity, but I do believe that if something is being made authentically and being sold for a certain price, is because that's the cost to produce something with, that would be able to be imported to most, countries, to most Western countries, within whatever, they're passing any FDA or any like whatever's out there, regulations to enter the country. So whatever they're being made of has to be able to make it in. I don't know what toxicities are. I hear people always talking about how toxic they are. Honestly, I don't know. And I really wonder about that. But what makes me think that possibly they can be toxic, counterfeits and fakes can be toxic, is the fact that they're being offered so cheap. So how much fillers are being used instead of the quality materials that you're being used that cost a lot of money, and is the reason why they cost a lot here to us, why they cost a lot, why silicone is so expensive, why our kits are so expensive and everything. So I think that kind of might be a little bit of proof that knockoffs have some, it might be a little bit toxic, more toxic than just authentic dolls. That's my guess. Did I send you this one? I have one with Velcro, but I can't find it. Yeah, I like this one too. I like the way it looks. I like how it scrunches there. I don't know if I put this on him before. I'm kind of feeling like changing this so that I could see him laid out more. I had that article posted a few years ago. I used it in my video. There are 2 chemical agents in fakes not allowed in the US. I have it saved somewhere. Well, okay, I want to link your video after this one. But the thing is that I wonder about that. Okay, so there's the article that there are some, agents that are being used in knockoffs and fakes that are toxic, but they're still able to be sold and traded, and they still make it into the country. So I don't know. I really wonder about that. Like, are they toxic? Are they not toxic? So there's an article, I guess it's one of those things we have to play it by ear. What more information is available out there? I'm just playing the devil's advocate a little bit because I don't know. I really want something definitive, because on one hand, I'd like to think like, well, if something that has these levels of toxicity that are unsafe for humans or mammals in general, then I would think they wouldn't even be allowed into our country. So, is eBay and Amazon, are they, contributing to toxic things being sold to people here in our community? I don't know. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I do wonder that. I'm thinking I'm gonna shift. I wanted to lay him flatter. I don't know if I should lay him on. I think this is what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna put him on the boppy instead of this. There we go. Okay. Little Mortician says that's another thing that I wonder about. Collectors say that it's platinum silicone, but how when here in the US the silicone for a doll alone is hundreds of dollars. See, I know it's like conflicting information. So I feel like it's not the argument that I go for. It's not really the oh, it's toxic in this, and I do hear that argument a lot, but it's not my go-to argument for it. For me, it's just simple like principles um and theft of somebody's intellectual property. And this is, and I even though I did compare it a little bit to like the makeup industry, at the same time I don't think it compares to the makeup industry, because the makeup industry is like $1 billion industry. I mean, look at Kylie Jenner. That's it. We're talking about $1 billion industry. The Reborn doll industry, it is not $1 billion industry. It's just not. Maybe it's $1 million industry. I don't know what you're making out there, Nevin Pratt. Anyway, so I don't think this is like, it is a smaller niche hobby thing It's a smaller niche thing. It doesn't even come near. Could you imagine if there were like it doesn't even come near Barbie. Okay, Barbie is probably like $1 million, maybe $1 billion industry. Um, are there knockoff Barbies out there? I mean, I know there's Barbie like, but they don't call them Barbie. There's Barbie like dolls. I've seen them. But their legs fall off easily. Their limbs usually fall off easily. So it's like totally different. Like they'll be like plastic, but hollow plastic. And a Barbie is like this solid, almost rubber, has a rubber, I think it's made out of, it seems like rubber. What is Barbie's? Barbie's arms tend to be really stiff, but the legs are kind of squishy, kind of, you know what I mean? Like, especially the legs that when they put those armatures in the legs that can bend. Do you remember that? But we're not talking about an industry here that that could compete with counterfeits, with the counterfeit industry, I think. And especially how more and more people are preferring fakes over legitimate dolls. And then people who want to preserve their channels, YouTube channels, are going to apologize or be okay and let it slide. That's like that's contributing to. I'm not saying go out and take, attack people. No. I say if you have a platform and you feel it and you're against counterfeits, then talk about it. Talk about why it's wrong. Talk about why you're against it. They're knockoff Barbies. You had them as a child. How dare you? I didn't know if there were or not. I know there's like dolls that look like Barbie, but not really because they're not made the same way. I've seen them. You know what I'm talking about? They're like plastic and they're hollow and you can like squish their legs and they're just plasticky. And then Barbie seems to be made more quality. I hope I haven't tried this one on him before. I want to see what it looks like. I think I've put it on most of my dolls. I'm not sure if I put it on this guy. I think I put this on Tice. This is one of my most favorite rompers I have. I've kept it for so many years. I just look at it, fits him nicely. I love it. It's one of my favorite. I got this so many years ago. I think it was like the very first romper I ever bought. I remember seeing like pictures of like babies wearing something similar. So then I went and I looked for some on Etsy. And there was very few. Now, if you go to Etsy, you find so many rompers like this, like the harem pant style, like these, nice and baggy. But back then, there really wasn't much. There weren't very many. And then I have so many. Not by this person, but I'm always on the hunt for some. I have so many of these. The color looks good on him. I have received so many comments and messages from new members and collectors in this community thanking us for few YouTubers for all the information, saying videos like this, saving them money and aggravation. Yeah, I get a lot on Facebook too, but I do get messages, and when people like want to talk in private or they message me about, my channel, and it's really nice. And we're just talking. That's why, I like changing my dolls. I like making things, easygoing here. There are my topics that I don't really want to do, hot topics and stuff like that, but there are things that I just won't stand for. And one of them is uh, people trying to shame me into not talking about knockoffs, wanting to shame, it's just, I can't and I won't. I won't because it's a topic that I really care about. This is a hobby that I have a lot of fun in and I enjoy it. And for the art aspect, starting from the sculptors who have leveled up this hobby, there wouldn't be this level. I don't want a Behringer. If every artist stopped sculpting, which is not going to happen either. I don't really like these type of hypotheticals like, well, if everyone stopped sculpting, then we would have no more. The end is near. Like, I don't think the end is near. I think that the reborn hobby with authentic dolls will coexist with the fakes and the people who love them. They're going to coexist. And it doesn't mean that I'm still not going to be it doesn't mean that I'm going to be like, okay, we coexist like kumbaya. I'm still not going to be okay with it because they're always going to keep copying, and maybe some artists we'll lose some good artists. We'll lose some good sculptors. Um, maybe we will lose them in the sense that they no longer want to be part of this community. Um, because of the collectors who buy fakes. Because, like I said, you can have the companies making them, but the buck stops at the person who's going to buy them. Okay, so Heather B. Time, if someone could make a short documentary about sculptors and the process with interviews, could maybe help create an emotional connection, inform newcomers to help detour them from buying fakes. There are a few documentaries out there. I'm not sure how many of them. There are a few artists that have been interviewed, and it shows they've shared their process of creating them. Some of them I think are kind of dated as well, but there are a few out there. My Little World says, so I don't care what fake supporters say. They are the ones contributing to this mess by actively buying counterfeit dolls and presenting them as a good thing to all viewers, new collectors included. My Little Thing says, I think it's a great idea, Heather B. Time. SG Nicole says, I've just started, so here's some things I've noticed. I don't notice is there really shape that too good to be true usually is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Heather B. Time says they could get interviews, really show people how sculptors feel and how much love they put into their work, and have the videos circulate the community. Ping Lao does that a lot. She's very vocal about her sculpts being stolen. She does a lot of videos. Now, they're not like I think she's done a video. I think she might have done something for YouTube, but I'm not sure if she's like has like this active channel where she's posting a lot. But she does communicate to a core of the community, because this is just YouTube. I've noticed, if as somebody who's been here for a while, um, I've noticed that YouTube is actually becoming more, it seems to be becoming the place for fakes and fake doll supporters. If I'm gonna be honest. I mean, I don't have this scientifically, like I know for sure, or I've seen them, but I find that the fake dolls are at the forefront of videos that are being suggested. I constantly get these suggestions for the fakes. Newer people that have created channels with dolls that they know are fakes, they're opening them. They're pretending to be collectors. That's one of them. There's one that's like really hardcore, just pretending to be part of the community, but they honestly are opening like fake Saskias every other day and then putting links to their store. So they're actually like profiting off of the sell of fakes. But I feel like more and more, and I'm going to just put it out there, my feeling from my observations are that this community, the Reborn doll community on YouTube, is becoming a place where fake collectors of fake dolls and the supporters of collectors of fake dolls are outweighing people who support sculptors, prefer authentic, are against stealing, theft, copyright. They're against copying, and I just feel like here on YouTube, uh, it's a whole other feeling here on YouTube, because when I spend the majority of my time for my doll hobby stuff on Facebook, and I don't see that there. Now, maybe it's just a chamber of everybody who agrees with me or everybody who thinks the same way I do. I don't know. But if we were going to separate, okay, people who collect fakes and support other people who collect fakes, you're on YouTube, and then people who are against fakes and want to support artists and sculptors and the art of reborning, you're on Facebook. It's sort of kind of becoming that way. I see it. That's my observation. Um oops, hold on. Little Mortician says there are definitely some prices that are just too good to be true. New collectors often that don't know that and end up getting scammed or receiving a doll that isn't the quality they expected. Heather B. Time, but to also show how hurt they are by people stealing their sculpts, etc. Yeah, they have. Ping Lao does a lot. She's vocal. She talks about how much it hurts her. There isn't like a documentary because I don't know that anybody has interviewed them, but they take initiative. They're their own advocates. Some of them are there. Hey, I'm here as a person representing myself. I'm not representing an artist. I'm not representing anybody else's views. I'm representing my own views only. In that same coin, you have sculptors who advocate for themselves. Ping Lao is one of the most prolific copied person here besides Bonnie Brown, and they do talk about it. They talk about the hurt, they talk about the financial hit, they talk about just the plain and simple, the hurt that it causes um, them to have their work, their sculpts copied. So yeah, it's being done, but you're not going to really hear it on YouTube. You're not. You don't really hear it on YouTube. The majority of people on YouTube are okay with buying fakes. They're looking for fakes. Their channels present a lot of knockoff and fake dolls. And so it's like two different camps here. Little Mortician says, I saw a clip on the news about a woman who bought a Reborn for $22 from those fake websites. She didn't know that there was no way she could get a Reborn for that price. And that's the problem because well, I don't even know what to say to that, because I'm not really like Katie has said in her videos as well. It's like I'm not so like, okay, look at, I think that people need to do their due diligence. If they think that something so realistic only costs $22, either they have no sense of the cost of things, or they're a child. I don't know. Um, so I'm not really talking about the people who accidentally. Yes, I think I do still hold you responsible. Some accountability, please. Even if you did it by accident, some accountability. Um, but that isn't the problem. The problem are the people who are actually buying, the people that hold 50% of culpability for the knockoff market, for the knockoff market thriving, and for the popularity of knockoffs on YouTube, are the people who are knowingly buying these kits. They know they're counterfeits and they're buying them anyway. You know? You know what I'm saying? Um, Hello, Luis. My little world says, I cannot with people's reasoning about how they cannot afford the real thing. But then I see each one of them like 10 with, you're like, with 10 fakes. For that money, they could have easily bought 1 to 2 or even 3 real ones. Thank you. That's so true. You maybe have like 10 of those fakes, and then like or 5 of them even, and you could have bought an authentic doll for that. Yes. Much better to have one real than 10 fakes. There's also the argument that what is it? What they like the way they look. I've seen people commenting that some fakes are cuter than than the authentic ones, and I'm like, okay, really? But then I go and I look at those people like who are saying that, and if they have any type of content on their channel, like today, I literally saw that today. Someone commenting under an old, like it's like a couple years old. It was like an Avita silicone, and somebody was commenting, "Oh, these are so much better than the real ones." And then I go and I look, and I'm like, it was a child. So I was like, okay, well, that's a kid. So I don't know. So I don't put too much weight to what certain people would say, but I don't know. Just a show of hands of people here who want to say, do you think that the fakes are cuter? Now, this is subjective, okay? Cuter than the authentic dolls? I mean, okay, maybe some. I've seen some of the fakes. In fact, there's probably fakes right underneath, being advertised right underneath my channel. Let me see. Little Mortician says the authentic dolls are way cuter. Most fakes honestly just look like regular baby dolls. Yes. Some of them have like the Saskias I've seen have really weird pluggy hair. There's some reborns out there that might have pluggy hair too, but at least they're the real deal. And so Jules thinks that the Susus have, the ones that she's seen, in the faces, they've come um, as close to looking like the authentic thing, and that is another danger that wasn't really happening in the past. That is happening a lot now. That some of these kits, they look. I don't know if I've seen any finished ones, because I know I've seen lots of Saskias that are being sold finished, but a lot of like these kits now, they just really look like the real deal. They look like the real deal. Oh, the hair is rooted like a machine, but the faces are lovely. Well, the faces are lovely. We have to give credit to the sculptor for the faces being cute, because you definitely, I mean, they copied an authentic doll. So, if you don't mind pluggy hair, but I just like I said, I just draw the line at whether they look cute to you, and the price is even appealing. Um, yeah, I just think that it's wrong. It's wrong for the community. It's bad to do to the artists. It's really sad, and I don't think that it's going to stop. I also don't think they're going to go away. I think they're going to get worse. I think we're going to have a real tragic moment when somebody that maybe you watch here on YouTube, or someone is going to end up with a fake. They're going to end up with a fake, and they're not going to know it until they know it. And it's getting too close for comfort. We have everybody wondering, is this a fake? Is it not a fake? Is this, so it's creating all of this uneasiness and this fear in the community that people are going to end up with a fake. And that's a real possibility. That is a real possibility that many of us here that really want to support the authentic community. You know how else is this going to affect people in this community? People like me, I buy lots of kits. Now, I buy kits from dealers. I have occasionally I bought him directly from another artist, the blank kit, and then I sent him to another artist and had him made. Some of the sold out limited edition kits that I have, I've bought from other collectors, people that I trusted, and other artists. So, but now Levi, there's a lot of fake Levi kits out there, and they look pretty darn close to the real thing. So it's going to get to the point where, you know what, maybe this isn't going to affect the sculptor's pocket. Maybe it won't even affect the artist's pocket. But you know who it is going to affect? Just regular collectors like you and me, like My Little World, like Jules, like Heather B, like Little Morticia. It's going to affect us, the people who are trying to sell our kits secondhand, or trying to sell our dolls secondhand. That is who it's going to affect, because there's a general fear now that people aren't getting the authentic thing. It definitely is making me think twice about, this is why I keep buying now. Like, it definitely makes me think twice about buying kits from other people. Okay, so unless I really, really trust them, or they're an artist and I totally can trust these people. But this is why I've been buying so many more kits that I kind of like. I'm like, okay, I think I might want that kit done in the future, so I'm going to buy it, because it's going to be a sold out limited edition kit. So I want to make sure I have one, just in case. Now, when I decide that I don't end up wanting to make that doll, I'm going to probably end up with having a hard time selling it, just in the eventuality that kit ends up being one of those kits that gets copied into fake, and being sold on eBay as a fake. So the people who lose are really gonna be collectors and some artists. Still holding out for the real one. I love one. You love Susu? I do occasionally see Susus for, you gotta know where to look. I have seen, in fact, I saw one recently on Instagram. Well, not that recently, like a month ago. You'll find one. It's sad too that a lot of these newer kits that are being produced are already so quickly being put out there. I remember there was always this argument that was being had, and it's still, it's this old argument where you had one camp that said, you know, if artists don't make, if they make the kits limited edition, counterfeiters are going to copy those kits and sell them. And then on the other side of that argument, there was the camp that said, if you make too many kits in an edition, or you make the edition open, counterfeiters are more likely to get their hands on it, copy it, and make counterfeits of it. And guess what? It doesn't matter. They don't care. They're going to do it with limited edition kits, and they're going to do it with 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 the kits that have large editions or that are open editions. So at this point, they don't care. They are doing it with any kit, all kits. I think Cassie Brace is beginning. A lot of her kits are starting to get copied a lot too. There's a lot of fake Cassie Brace dolls out there. It's disappointing how much better the counterfeits are getting. It upsets me. It upsets me because it gets harder and harder to deter people. Yes, I agree with you, Heather B. Time. Jules Luz says, I'm picky. Hey, Annalisa. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm picky too. I'm picky about my dolls too. My Little World says YouTube is not the place for serious collectors anymore. I talk to serious collectors and artists all the time, and they all pretty much left YouTube a long time ago. Only a handful left. I agree with you there, My Little World. I'm just scrolling back here. Let me see. Did I miss any questions? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm trying to get, well, I hope you get feeling better too. I'm gonna grab another outfit. We're just going to relax here a little. Well, I stressed you out about counterfeits. I think I'll try another bunny outfit on Matthias. And we're just gonna shift out Stellan and bring on Matthias really quick. This doll smells so good. I put this romper on him the other day, but I'm thinking I'm going to try, I want to see what this looks like. I don't know if it's going to be too big or too baggy. I'm feeling a rabbit theme. But yes, this will be a place for authentic dolls for me first, and then and I will talk about it because this YouTube as a platform, as an information platform, it is it's becoming less and less a place I feel for authentic dolls. You know, and there used to be a time when, well, you know what? I'm honestly probably can't say that. I was gonna say there used to be a time where there it was kind of there was uniformity behind, being against counterfeits, but I feel like I see that less and less. Oh, thank you, Annalisa. Thank you, Annalisa. Annalisa says, I believe I am on a limited budget and have no knockoffs anyone. No knockoffs anyone can. Yes. God, I am loving my Grayson's hair so much right now. I'm just going to show it to you guys again. I love it. Look how shiny it is. I brushed it like, I'm going to say I brushed it like maybe a week ago, and I just laid it on, I had it on a little satin thingy so his hair wouldn't rub against the bouncer. And he's just been laying in there, and his hair is still really good. And this is just with a little bit of distilled water and mohair conditioner. More distilled water than mohair conditioner, but a little bit of both. And it's staying really pretty nicely. I love his hair. It's really, 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 really cute. The boys look gorgeous. Thank you so much. Let's unbutton them here. But yeah, that's what I wanted to come on to say. I wanted to come on and change the dolls. I wanted to come on and continue talking about something that I do really care about. I don't like this atmosphere of trying to shame people for supporting sculptors, for doing the right thing. And I'm not going to stop talking about it. I'm not going to stop all of a sudden change my mind and feel like, okay, I'm ready to buy a fake. It's just not going to happen. There are places, I feel like the promotion of fakes, this is my feeling on it. I just feel like the promotion of fakes contributes to the problem that we have with counterfeits. I feel like the consumerism behind like the purchasing of fakes also contributes greatly. 50%, 50-50 culpability here between the manufacturers of fakes and the collectors who buy them. So I do honestly feel like they are half of the problem. Is what I think or what I feel or what I talk about on my channel, is that going to stop people from buying fakes? No, it's not. Is it going to stop the Chinese companies manufacturing fakes? It won't. I know that. I know it's not going to. But what me talking about it is going to do is bring awareness about fakes. Now, people can watch this video and think, well, I'm going to go out and buy a fake anyway. And that's their prerogative. I don't take it personally if they do. What I do take it personal when they come out and try to shame anyone, whether you're an artist or collector, and they try to shame you for being an outspoken advocate against every aspect of the fake knockoff market. Heather B. Time says, but if all the people leave YouTube who respect authentic dolls, the situation will just get worse. I very much appreciate all the channels who really love the art. Thank you. Thank you for your support, Heather. I appreciate that. I'm not planning on leaving. I'm not, but I do sometimes, I do feel a kind of, come on, you want to come in? I do feel a certain kind of way about being amongst the place fakes where fakes rule. I do feel a certain way about, showing my dolls, because I have been, for so many years, I've been attacked for having um what, expensive is very subjective. I'm just going to say expensive for me. Well, there's expensive for me, which I don't even venture into spending. And then there's expensive for me where I have to save in order to spend it, right? I am not like the kind of person that can just see a doll and not plan for it. I have to plan for every single purchase that I make. Because I have a family, I have other responsibilities, financial responsibilities, that I have to plan for every single purchase, expensive doll. Now, the fact that I'm picky and the fact that I want things to look a certain way um, means that I have to spend a little bit more money. I have to spend definitely more than 200, 500, sometimes even more than $2,000. Yes, I have to spend that because of what I'm looking for, because of the quality or the realism that I'm looking for, because of the prestige of the artist that I'm looking for, the prestige of owning something that you're not going to see a lot of, or the quality of the work, or you're not going to see a lot of on a platform like YouTube. I don't see a lot of, your master artist dolls that I like being presented here. I do see some, but some of these collectors that do get the more high-end dolls, and probably even more, they pay, I'm talking like they pay, like the prototype ones. A lot of them you're not going to see on YouTube. Some of them collect their dolls and maybe only present on platforms like social media platforms like Instagram or Facebook, and they share them there. But they're not making these videos that enter everybody's homes and people watch and follow for information or clothing trends or any kind of trend that they're following. So, I personally just don't see too much of that here on YouTube. I feel like it's being overrun by counterfeits and people who support counterfeits. And yeah, I'm going to be here and I'm going to show because I'm still enjoying the hobby. I don't have a lot of time for YouTube. I made time today, but yeah, it's just like that. I expect a certain level of realism in the dolls that I collect. And for many, many years, people wanted to say that I was elitist because I would buy certain kinds of clothes, or that I would buy from only certain types of or certain artists. So I got made fun of. I had people make tags to antagonize or to bully me with. Like, there was one person that made this whole tag called the Nike tag, and because of the clothes that I was presenting, people, they like to blur the lines, and they like to pretend that I come out here and I show the clothes that I buy as something that I'm saying, oh, look, I bought clothes at Children's Salon. You know what? Children's Salon, everybody shops at Children's Salon now. Everyone shops at Next. Okay, it's like all of these things that I used to do on my channel a long time ago. I actually got harassed for it, which now has become the norm here. Buying clothes from Next, buying clothes from Children's Salon, that, all of that has become now what people do, what people look for. So I mean, I don't understand why a lot of people went after me for these things. A lot of the things that I did here now, years ago, it's kind of become the norm. So it's more socially acceptable, I guess. But I went through a long period of time here where people thought like, because I wanted to buy custom made clothes for my dolls, because I wanted to have more unique things to present my dolls in on my channel so that it wouldn't be boring. Don't get me wrong, I love Carter's. Okay? I love Carter's, and um I have bought a lot of things from Carter's. But when I start to see lots of people having the same thing, I always go, well, what can I do that's not going to be the same as everybody else? So that was always something that was the way I was building my channel. That was the way I was building um, what I wanted to present here. So I was like, well, what can I dress my doll in that's going to be different than everybody else? Am I going to go to Carter's and have the same, onesies and everything? Like I said, I love Carter's, okay? Don't get me wrong, because people always want to twist it and say that, oh, she's elitist. She is like, okay, so um don't apologize for your standards ever. Haters always hate. Remember that. Block them so they don't disturb your energy. I do block them. Then, I mean, when you block people now, people make videos talking about how, oh, you're blocking people because that's your way of ostracizing them or alienating them, and you don't let them come to your. Why would I let somebody who brings a negative energy to my videos, to my space, my hobby space, because this is still a hobby. I'm not making any buco bucks having this channel. This is just a place for me to make videos, stand on my soapbox, and talk. Okay, that's all I'm doing here. It's no different than anybody else is doing on their channels, standing on their soapbox, especially people who like to talk. So it's not any different. Let me read some of the comments here. It's been awful here lately. Yeah, thank you, Heather B. Jules Lovestall says maybe they leave because they have had their run on YouTube. It's a lot of energy to make videos, and I had to slow down a lot. Sick mom, kids, demanding job. Yeah. Yeah, me too. I've slowed down making videos too because I've just been really, really busy. Um, because I do have fun making videos, but I have to think of things to talk about. And I've done pretty much everything. I've done so much already. Like, and I know people are always new, and maybe they haven't seen a lot of my old videos and stuff, but I have repeated topics and I talk about fakes and stuff ad nauseum. So, My Little World says, well, let me just say I noticed how some videos hit the nerve with fake supporters. All I can say is if the shoe fits. So Katie's saying basically that when we talk about fakes, there are people out there that watch us. They know, especially me, it's in my about section. They know that how I feel about fakes. They know how outspoken I am about it, but they take it personal. And I don't know these people that have fakes. I really don't know them on a personal level. It's not against them as a person. It's just against supporting, financially supporting a counterfeit market. I see them too. I just click off, not my forte. I get for people who have been in the hobby years, it really strikes a nerve to see these videos. Well, I talk about the channels that are out there that are heavily saturating the YouTube Reborn community with fakes and stuff, but um, I don't watch them either. I just see the recommendations and I'm like, that's definitely a fake. And then I get more recommendations for channels that are promoting fakes than I do for people that are collecting authentic Reborn dolls. So then I feel like it's something I want to talk about. It's an experience and an observation that I'm having here on YouTube. So I talk about it. I talk about that experience. I talk about that observation. Because believe me, I'm not watching them. So I do click on to like make sure I'm like, is that a fake? And then I see, but I don't know them from Eve. I don't know them from Adam. I don't know these people. I just see that some of them have fakes. Okay, so My Little World says, at Jules, yes. The saddest part is most of these who made those angry videos are long-term collectors and YouTubers. Heather B. Time says, and thank you, My Little World, for being one of the channels that is wonderful too and really respects artists. I really appreciate you all. Jules says, don't apologize for your standards ever. Hater, okay, I read that one already. My Little World says, that means a lot. Thank you, Heather B. Time. I know those videos kill me. No, I block, girl. Hell no. Hi, Patricia. My Little World says, nice to hear words of support, ladies. Some so-called friends have been really quiet. Very eye-opening time. Very eye-opening time, let me tell you. Heather B says, I've been thinking of making YouTube channel to talk about dolls, but it sounds stressful and not sure I could handle the negativity. And that's a sad thing, you know, when the fact that you're sharing that here, because I don't think that the dolls or the channels should be stressful. I understand that it makes people uncomfortable to talk about things like fakes and the fact that it has saturated, whether we want it or not, it has saturated the Reborn community on YouTube, especially. Not that Facebook is without its group or supporters of fakes. Not that Instagram doesn't have so many fake accounts, like people literally faking, like stealing pictures and trying to sell them to people saying they own these dolls, or they, you know, so literally doing that. It's just that with a platform like YouTube, you're talking video, you're talking like things you can edit. I mean, you can do that on Instagram, but I think for the age group of the majority of people, I'll take the demographic that watches me. It's between like 40 and 60 years old. I know that there's people that are younger than that, but percentage wise, the demographic that watches me is between 40, 60 years old and female. I get like less than 1% of males watching. But I just think that it's not, we talk about these things less for it to be stressful for people to hear. And we talk about these things for it to be, one, it's my opinion. Two, there's some facts that I'm basing these opinions on. And the third reason is because this is still an entertainment platform and people look for a lot of information, or they want to be entertained on here. So it's talked about. You shouldn't take it like, I don't think you should be discouraged. Like, there's nothing that I don't like when people try to come on and say, oh, I'm discouraged, I'm too scared to make a channel because it seems stressful. Maybe to keep up with, because there is that added pressure of having to have things to present. That's why people do hauls, because, you know, lots of people, not just in the doll community, but lots of people on YouTube in general, buy things to have to present on their channels. And yeah, so there's a lot of hauls, there's a lot of box openings. People love box openings. Maybe they'll find a new artist, you know, that people like being, you know, it kind of feel connected when somebody, the surprise of opening up the doll, what is it going to look like, how are they going to feel about it? So they like these box opening experiences. They want to know what people's first reactions are to things. So that's like really popular. But talking about serious things like that seem really serious in the grand scheme of the world and what's going on in the world. Yeah, probably not that serious fakes. Okay. But this speaking within a channel that is geared towards reaching doll collectors and talking about reborn dolls and the hobby, then we're gonna have, it's something you can't just ignore, or at least for me, it's something that I can't ignore. So I don't think people should be afraid to make a channel. I think you should guard your privacy. There are things I would have done differently. I would have guarded my privacy a lot more. a lot more. Because that's something else I find on the internet in general. It's a shame that people do it here in this community too. But yeah, it's good practice to guard your privacy on the internet. Because people get obsessed and they will get fixated on you, and they can't stop themselves. They lack self-control. So they, you know, when somebody wants to get obsessed with you, they will continue until, even if, I don't know, it's kind of like that Morrissey song, the more you ignore me, the closer I get. So I don't know, maybe there's something there. Maybe Mr. Stephen Morrissey was onto something there. Well, I'm not sure how I like the top part of that. It's kind of boxy. I think, let me lift him up. I think I'm going to brush his hair a little bit. I'm going to use, let's see if that one works. I don't know where my water is at. I had it down here. There it is. So this live will probably be my only video for the week. So I know I'm going to be super busy. Patricia King says, I only have one because of the expense. My daughter and son-in-law bought her for me. I love her. She probably will be the only one, but that's okay. Honestly, I think it's okay. I wish I could just have one. But yeah, and they are expensive. I mean, they are expensive. They can be. And that's kind of subjective too. Like, some people are able to afford a $10,000 prototype. I can't. And that's okay. So there's all levels of, this is the brush that the artist sent with him. It's a little toothbrush. I gotta turn him this way. Patricia, My Little World says, at Patricia, you have one, but she's the real thing and you love her. She makes you happy, and that's what it's about. Yes, she's real. My Little World says, oh my goodness, that bunny romper. Well, she sounds perfect to me. Oh, thank you, Sally. I don't think I've really used much. Like, I don't really have to do much to his hair. I'm just using this and to kind of apply a little bit of moisture to his mohair, especially like the more very, very thinly close to the head rooted stuff, because it needs a little bit of it. That's probably the most, and it's kind of the tricky part because I don't want to really wet his forehead or anything, but I just love this hair. So we're going to let that dry a little bit there. This one right here. Yeah, I like that the toothbrush folds. It's like one of those portable toothbrushes. So it folds into itself. Yeah, I like it. And I'm using it as opposed to this one right now because I'm trying to apply. First, I want to make sure that I'm detailing the hair. And I just want to apply a little bit of the moisture on there. And I'm going to let it dry. And I feel like I kind of want to brush Tice's hair. I'm not sure. We'll let this dry a little bit. But that is what I'm going to say today, this week, about the week is over. It's Sunday. It's a new week. I hope I don't have to talk about fakes for a long time because like I'm even tired of talking about it. I'm hearing about it everywhere. I did want to address that question, the title of this video. I wanted to address that because it really ties into how people end up inadvertently buying fakes. We talked for hours now, for a long time, about, you know, those of us who purposely or intentionally we want to buy fakes, so that's what we buy. But then there's these misleading ideas of where to buy a Reborn. I wanted to explain a little bit about my process and where I find one. I wanted to give you guys my opinion of where the safest way to avoid buying a knockoff would be. Unless you're looking for a knockoff, then I'll tell you this right now, you'll find them easy. I think you'll find a knockoff even easier than you'll find an authentic doll. And that's a sad reality. That is a sad thing. That the knockoffs are easier to find than authentic Reborn dolls. But that's the world we're living in. I can't do anything about it, but I will speak out against it. You know, and even if what I say doesn't change that speed train that's just it's left the station, it's going, it's not going to stop, it's going. I'm not aboard it, which I'm fine. But that's what I'm saying. I just want to address that question. What is the name of the website where you buy these dolls? And if you rewind this video to the beginning, you'll be able to hear where I explain my process of buying everything. And I hope it was worth your time if you're new. And if you're not new and you just here for the company, that's great too. Because I definitely do enjoy when you guys participate in the chat. Do you mind sharing the moisturizer? Let me show you right here. I always have a bottle of distilled water. I always use distilled. Because regular tap water has it's hard water, and unless you have one of those filtration systems in your house, which I don't. But I use regular distilled water. You can buy it at the grocery store. I always buy like a little gallon of it. And I just use distilled so that, you know, when I spray it on here, the hard water would probably contribute to drying out the mohair. And I feel like distilled water won't. It'll be less likely to dry out my hair. Because you know how hard water can form calcium deposits around your faucets and stuff. So that's where my mind is at right there. And then this right here is my mohair conditioner. I buy this from Bountiful Baby. It's one of the only things I buy from Bountiful Baby at this point. I used to buy zip ties and stuff from them, but I don't even buy zip ties from them anymore because their shipping is just way too much. But this is, let me read this. What does this say? Says spray directly on dry hair, hold, cut, and this is for, you can also apply this artists will use this to condition their mohair that they get. So if they want to make it even softer, they'll apply it to the mohair before it's rooted in the doll's hair. But on the doll, I always spray it. I don't spray it directly on their hair. I also don't spray the water directly on their head. This is my process. This is the way I do it. So I spray this directly onto the brush, the toothbrush, or where are you? You're back here. Or a nice, I use a goat hair brush, goat hair bristles. This is goat hair, so I'm using the same stuff that this is made out of. The hair is goat hair, this is goat hair. It's really super soft. This is an actual real baby's brush. I bought this on Amazon, I think. And this I buy from Bountiful Baby. Thank you, yes. Thank you, Katie. Random thought. Okay, Heather B. Time says random thought. But I think the first way I found your channel long ago is we both had the same full body silicone doll. I think it was your first doll. Since then, I still watch you. Yeah, my very, very first silicone was by Joanna Gomez. And I love her dolls too. They're really cute. And they're good quality silicone. My Little World says, ladies, please do not. Thank you so much. If you want it, give it a thumbs up. Patricia says, always do. Thank you, Patricia. One day I would love one with rooted hair. I like painted hair too. In fact, I was just, he's meditating, yeah. He's sitting, I'm gonna let it dry. It's pretty much dry. Let's see what he looks like. Look at Matthias. There, look how cute he looks. Oh, wait. Oh, he's kind of, let me turn him this way. Look at, you can look at him this way. Hi, Gemma. Do I have a favorite Reborn? Oh my gosh, that's kind of hard. I feel like if they're with me, they're my favorites. If I haven't sold them, they're my favorites. And if we're going, yeah, so if I'm going to break this down into units, let's break this down into units, because this is not one straightforward answer. I can't. And it's not to offend my dolls, because they have no soul, they have no feelings. They are vinyl. Right now, I'm at a place where my collection, I like them all. The ones that I have, and I can't imagine selling them at this time. I can't. All the ones that I have, I really, truly love. And then I have my, and if we break it down even more, so the ones that I have, I truly, truly love. But when I shop, this is how I determine who's my flavor of the month, the flavor of the moment, is when I start shopping, who do I have in my mind? Who am I shopping for? So just the other day, I was shopping, I was buying some clothes. I was buying clothes, and I got to bring him in here. And I had this guy in mind, because every time I look at him, look, he's so big. Look how big he is. Ah, he's going to crush him. Let me show you comparison. Big foot, little foot. Oh, can you guys tell? Oh, it's not a very good. They look almost the same size there, but they're not. I guarantee you he's bigger. So whenever I start to think of, or when somebody asks me that, that's the way I kind of decide that, who my favorite at the moment is. I mean, I think it's him. But I've been tonight looking for clothes with him in mind, with Matthias in mind. So my Maggie at this time is one of the dolls that I'm really loving. I'm loving him because I love dressing him. I love brushing his hair. He's adorable. He's awake. He's looking at me. He's really cute. And then I have Matthias, who I also think of clothing when And I think maybe because he's kind of I think he is the last doll I've gotten. I haven't gotten a doll in a couple months, and he is the latest doll I have in my collection. It was either him or my silicone. I can't remember. And so, and anything that's going to look good on Matthias is going to look good on Stellan. He's my other Levi, so they're kind of equal there, my Stellan and my little Matthias. But definitely, I do think about dressing him a lot. And when I'm shopping, I'm really thinking of this guy or my Maggie. Sorry, I don't usually have like one straight answer for stuff. I have to go into a long explanation. But that's why you guys love me, right? It's never simple. Sally Sanger says, thank you, Ness. Using distilled water makes perfect sense. We do have hard water here in the Northwest or I don't know what NWM is. I do have the same brushes, but I have not used BB mohair conditioner. I appreciate the advice. You're welcome. I love this stuff. Never had a single problem with it. I trust BB for this, Bountiful Baby. You can find it on Bountiful Baby's website. No scent. It has no scent. Both of them are so cute. Thank you. Is it cute? This one actually has a hat, but I'm not a hat person. And the hat has like these long bunny ears. Right now, I think it's put away in a separate drawer. But maybe I'll take some pictures of him and post him with the hat on. But I love looking at his hair so much that's okay, Annalisa. Northwest. Okay, I wasn't sure if you meant the Northwest. I was all thinking New South Wales, but that's Australian. That's NSW. Mine is not scented. Did you get it from BB? Did you get it from BB? I sound like Kylie Jenner. Did you get it from BB? Hold on, let me open mine. I don't smell anything. The only thing I smell is like sort of like a conditioner or lotion kind of smell, but not like a scented. I mean, I'm not talking like Bath and Body Works lotion kind of scent. It's just like a very unscented lotiony smell that I have. What scent? Do they sell it scented? My Little World, do they sell the BB mohair conditioner scented? Olympia, south of Seattle. I've been to Seattle. Welcome the state of Washington. I like all things West Coast. I'm not going to lie. I love my Pacific Northwest. I love my Oregon, my California. We need a super train all the way from Washington State down to Baja California, right? So we could all like be connected. That's my dream. That's my dream. I have a dream. Yours smells like old lady perfume. I don't know. I'm not sure. My mom used to use a perfume. What was it called? Opium. She still likes opium. I don't even. Do you guys remember that perfume? I don't even know. That was my mom's perfume. She always wore opium. Gemma says, I need to try and sleep. It's almost 5 a.m. here. See you soon. My little world says, good night, Gemma. Have a restful evening. My little world says, like the type of scent you find at estate sales. I love those, by the way. Patricia's King says, sorry, Katie, my mom popped in to my head at that moment. I have a nose like a werewolf. Have a good night. Yeah, I hope everyone's having a relaxing evening. I am. I may not sound that relaxed, but I guess like when you're okay with who you are and you're okay with um, I'm okay with where I stand and everything like that. I just don't like misinformation or people conflating things. That was one thing I heard. I heard a little clip of, I don't like people conflating things, like when, talking against, speaking out and being vocal against fakes is not the same thing as attacking someone or bullying. It is definitely not bullying anyone, because believe you me, I've seen bullying here. I've seen really psycho stuff on YouTube from adults, not children, from adults. So, it's not the same. No one should take it personal if someone, like, I don't think Ping Lao personally dislikes somebody who has a counterfeit. I don't either. I don't just, I'm not, it's not the person. Do I question that person's integrity? A little bit. Do I question their principles? A little bit. Is that judgmental? A little bit. But so is saying that we need to not express our opinions about, or facts. We're stating the facts of how counterfeits affect the psyche, the motivation, and the general mental well-being or emotional well-being of the artist whose work is being copied. There is an Amtrak, the Starlight Express, but a super train would be awesome. Think how many people could come to meetups. I know. I mean, California is so huge. I know from like the top, like Eureka, talking like right there at the edge of California before you enter Oregon, down to Baja, to San Diego, before you reach the border of Mexico. It's about 10 hours. I think it's like a 10-hour drive. So the state of California is pretty huge. Our governor is trying to fund a super train that goes from Northern California to Southern California, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. And there is Amtrak. I don't even know how much those trains cost, but that would be nice to see the entire Pacific Northwest, the coastline, on a train. That would be kind of cool. But I think that is all I have for you tonight. Good night, Patricia. I'm going to take off too. Thank you guys for being here, for participating. For those of you who participated in the conversation, thank you so much. I have nothing to give you except for my gratitude, and for having this discussion and giving your thoughts about it. And thank you so much to My Little World for always moderating my live streams. And I hope that you guys found this conversation useful somewhat. And then I hopefully will see you again. I'm thinking on Friday, because I do want to make that a regular thing. I haven't really pinpoint a time that I'm going to be doing stuff, but the Orient Express train to Reborn me We'll be in an Agatha Christie novel, right? We'll make it into that, a whodunit, a murder on the Orient Express. Uh, people beating each other with their dolls. It'll be counterfeits versus authentic. I kid. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys. I have fun talking. You guys, allowing me to stand to be on my soapbox here. I hope I kept you guys a little bit of company too. Um, I know I love listening to live streams. They're not always like doll related stuff, but I like listening to lives. It kind of keeps me company. Um, and that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you guys are safe. You have a great week, and I will see you Friday. I just don't know what time yet. But Friday seems to be my kind of go to the day I can actually do some stuff. So Sally says, always a wonderful evening. Thank you so very much. Love to talk to you and Katie. Thank you so much, Sally. I appreciate that. All right, guys. So I will let you go. Saying goodbye is always the hardest part. trying to end this is always the hardest part. But everyone, take care, and we'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching.